G'day guys, how's it going? Just giving you my update on Bitcoin for the week. Last week was very exciting. We broke the all-time high. Like I said in the video, I was short from the previous all-time high, but luckily I managed to get a long after the all-time high broke for a cheeky 3-1. If you didn't see that, follow me on Tradingview. I'll put the link in my description because I posted that one there. I don't do videos on all of them because it would take quite a lot of time, and I don't post them all on Tradingview, but I will post a fair few of my charts there. So if you're not following, follow along there. And what we'll do is we'll head to Tradingview and we'll get started. All right, so here we are. As always, we start on the weeklies. So currently, these are the levels I'm paying attention to. Now, obviously, there's no weekly resistance levels because we've broken all-time high, right? We're at an all-time high. There is a bit of a daily level straight across here. That'll come in a sec. But right now, I'm basically looking at weekly support levels. So I currently have the two demand zones that I spoke about last week. There's also a trend line that we've formed up, and we've got the fibs that go from, I like to draw my fibs on probably what's a higher time frame. So a lot of people probably see this and say, why wouldn't you be drawing them from, let's say, this to this? And my answer would be, I am, but on the dailies. These are what I consider my weekly fibs. They're actually probably like the monthly fibs. It's just the way I like to do fibs. Doesn't make that much of a difference, I don't think. It just gives you more of a high. I'm really big on always having a high time frame view, and by doing my fibs that way, I've always got like high time frame fibs. So it's something that works for me. If you're not a fan, that's no worries. Whatever works for you. So currently, those are the weekly levels I'm looking at. Pretty much purely weekly support. We're a long way from it. I wouldn't expect to see any of it hit this week. It'd be a pretty big sell off if it was. Now, if we come down to the dailies, and we will get rid of those weekly fibs. In fact, we get rid of all the weekly stuff because we're not really going to need it. These are my current daily levels. So again, there's not really any daily resistance because we're almost at an all-time high. That was that really strong daily level that I was talking about before, this one through here. So you can see that's acted as support when we've come back down to it. It held as support as soon as we broke, let us push to a new all-time high, and then we've come back down, retested it. And we're currently getting a bullish engulfing after two hammers. So that's a bit of a bullish sign. Excuse me. So that's what I'm seeing on the daily. So the key levels for me are these demand zones. Will they be hit? I'm not sure. Look, Bitcoin's due for retracement, you know. I've said this every week. 62%. So we did retrace 10% last week. Not huge, but it's not no retracement. So I don't know. Like, I still think it's due for a decent retracement, but once you get all-time high, once you get hype, once you get FOMO, once these things start coming in, retracements go out the window. We might just see big bullish engulfing after big bullish engulfing on a run up to who knows where. So currently, the most important daily level is probably that daily, what I'd call an equilibrium, right? It was resistance, and now it's acting as support. So that's probably the most important daily level at the moment. On the 4 hours, and we get rid of our dailies, we have, actually what we'll do is we'll keep, I just don't want the daily fibs because that'll make things messy. We'll keep that. So if we're zoomed in, we're looking just at the 4 hours. We have broken trend, which is, you know, indicating that we might see some downside, give us a bit more of a retracement. We've had a pretty solid buyback off this level, right? We've pumped pretty well. I was actually long through here, moved my stop up prematurely because I just wasn't liking the look of it, the fact that we hadn't sort of pushed off. Got stopped out on this wick, I think, whereas my stop was initially under somewhere around here. So I am no longer in this position. That's all right. It happens. To be honest, I don't think I moved my stop prematurely because I've found that I often get stopped out on moves like that, and I'd rather lose a little bit than lose a whole 1%. So for the most part, I think that's worked pretty well for me. It just hasn't worked in this case. Now, what I'm thinking is probably a move up to here. First, I know that's not very far, but there is a pretty solid supply zone there. Lines up with the 50 fib. There's probably a bit of a horizontal level too, right? You can see that that acted as support here before we had the big move up, and it acted as resistance when he tested it from the bottom. So that's probably some sort of an EQ level. So I think likely to head up there. From there is the question, right? Do we head up? Do we go on to make new all-time highs? Or do we come back down, which would give us a bit of a head and shoulders, something. Oh, that's going to be a mess. That's all right. You guys can see what I'm talking about. Too many drawings. But if we do sort of follow this motion, that will give us a bit of a head and shoulders, which could potentially see us have that decent retracement back down to these sort of, what are we looking at, 55 to 50 levels. That is obviously a really wide demand zone, that bottom one. But those are sort of the things that I see most likely to play out for the week. So I will take a short from here. Again, pretty low risk because, I don't think I said this, but my bias is bullish, right? On the dailies, we have had a huge run. Obviously, like I said, not much of a sell-off, but my bias is bullish, so I am more interested in longs than shorts. That said, I'm still happy to take a low risk short from this 50 fib. In like low risk in terms of, I think it's not the worst play I've ever seen, and also I won't take it for a full 1%. But you know, that's a pretty fat risk reward, and especially if I am right about getting down here. Now we've had that trend break, right? Market structure on the 4 hour has turned bearish. I said on a call the other day, right, I wouldn't be bearish until we broke this level and we've closed below. So even though we've had a solid buyback after, for me, that's good enough. I'm happy to take a low R. So if you don't understand R, 1R is like 1% risk. I'm happy to take a low R short from here. Fat risk reward, which always excites me. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for this week. Hopefully I will have, well, no, not hopefully. I'm definitely doing another video for you guys this week based on what I call like psychology and maths, balancing the two. I do have a few other video ideas in the works, and the reason I haven't been doing my sort of education videos for the last month or so, I actually don't know when I last released one, but that will become apparent in the next few weeks. Some of you have probably already switched on. I've been working on some other projects. I'm probably going to drop a video on that project very soon, which is really, really exciting. But yeah, that's my thoughts for the week. Hope you guys have been killing it in the markets lately. Hope you guys continue to kill it in the markets lately. As always, got any questions, any thoughts, hit me up, like and subscribe. I'm always around to be talking. And join the Bullpen. I haven't spoken about that on a video, but some friends and I, if anyone knows Donnie Collar, who is a wizard, he started a big old Discord, and it's a ripper. I'm really enjoying being in there. I'm pretty active in there, so if you ever got questions, feel free to hit me up in there. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Things are going well. Hopefully they're going well for you to have a ripper, and I'll talk to you guys next week.